should work now. Welcome, bros and girl bros. Alright, hello, I am Antris. I am the raid leader for Team Moon. A lot of you have raided with us for a while now, so you guys know the deal with all this stuff. But for our new friends, welcome. And I just wanted to, one, have this meeting as a kind of meet and greet for new people, as well as so much has changed about WoW as far as like add-ons, weak auras, classes in general, the team makeup, all of that good stuff has all vastly changed. So I just wanted a chance to get everybody together before our first official raid to run things down and address any questions or concerns or comments that anyone might have, which we will do towards the end. If you have been here for a while, you can probably tune out for like the next 10 to 15 minutes.
What?
Exactly.
What?
If you are new here, welcome one more time. Thanks for being here. Jazz and I made Goodnight Moon because we were tired of chasing cutting edge. It was just not feasible, like, to dedicate that much time to a video game anymore as we became adults. And we wanted a place where people could come to raid and hang out and just have a good time in WoW, sort of like the days of old, which I think we've done pretty good so far. We've grown to house 3 raid teams, but Team Moon was the original that everybody else is based off of, and they're all cheap copies. But in all seriousness, we really enjoy having such a large number of people in the guild. It always makes it feel like something is going on, so please do not be shy to jump into groups, or if people are in Discord, everyone here is very welcoming and friendly. So, well, everyone, probably except for Brit, is welcoming and friendly. I've had this conversation, I believe, with all of the new recruits, and if you've been here, you know, the way that our attendance works is unless I hear from you that you are not going to be in attendance, I am assuming that you will be here. So when the bot posts, if you are going to be here Friday and Saturday, you do not have to engage with the bot at all. If you are going to be out or late or you're not entirely sure, that is when you would check off a option on the bot. But if I don't see people listed as absent, then I'm assuming that you will be there. It matters less for normal and heroic, but obviously as we get into mythic, that is going to be very important. So please, 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 as soon as you know that you're going to be out for that week, please post on the bot, because it just gives me the most time to change rosters and tweak things and get things prepped so that everybody is still able to raid. I will always try and get a roster out for Wednesday or Thursday. There are times where I'm waiting on like a key person in order to determine like how the roles are going to align, so sometimes that will be a little bit late. It's just the nature of the beast, and I apologize. But I do that in an attempt to get you guys to a point where, like, if you know for sure you're like 3rd person in or 4th person in or something like that, that way it gives you a pretty good idea that you can pug Mythic for the week so that you're not losing out on Vault slots or loot chances or any of that good stuff. Going through my checklist here. We welcomed, we have attendance expectations. Okay, how I raid lead. So I am very much a raid leader who I value people's input. I am incredibly I am a one-trick pony. I'm okay at Havoc Demon Hunter, and I'm okay at Prop Paladin, and I'm okay at raid leading. If there are people who have better strategies or things like that, then I am totally open and willing to hear that and tweak things. What I do ask is that it's not in the middle of a boss pull, or if I'm trying to get the raid to do something or some strat or whatever it might be. I ask that we follow my point at first, and then we discuss strats and things later on. We typically will go off of ready, check, pull videos for our basic strategy guides, and then as we get into Mythic, sometimes we will tweak things, or if in the course of Heroic we end up going with some other strat that can carry into Mythic, it will sort of be a natural progression of that strategy. Again, as far as expectations go, if you are showing up on time, you are doing your homework, as in you're running Mythic Pluses, and I'm not looking for a full vault every week with the, options from all the delves, all the PvP, all of the raid, and all that good stuff. I'm really just looking for continued progression. I tell my students a lot of the time, I'm not looking for perfection, I'm looking for improvement. And that is similar to like raid performance or anything like that. I am not somebody who is super impressed with like 99 parses. That's awesome. If you are somebody who is pulling that kind of damage and you do that on a regular basis, that's great. I'm going to be far more impressed by somebody clutching a mechanic at the very last second, or getting into a soak that saves the raid group. That is what really gets me excited as far as raid leading goes. Those are the people that I call out. Those are the people I recognize, because at the end of the day, your 99 parse might kill the boss a couple of seconds faster than the 70 parse of the guy sitting next to you, but the guy who just pulled a 70 parse and got into a soak puddle to prevent a wipe is the true killer of that boss. Raid ready expectations, which is just, for the most part, we will provide feasts, flasks. You guys are responsible for like weapon oils. We will sometimes provide potions, but weapon oils, sharpening stones, any of that kind of stuff, Vantis runes, all of those things are expected that you are bringing them. Or if you are like, oh, my class is one of those ones where I eat like an odd food that isn't, primary stat. I want like haste food. If that's your jam, then bring that. But we will typically have primary stat food available via feasts. Outside of that, we have repairs on for raiders during the raid week, and that will kind of lead us into our BOE discussion. The way that Goodnight Moon across all of our raid groups handles BOEs is we take the BOEs, we sell the BOEs on the auction house. 75% of whatever that sale price is goes to whoever looted it. And 25% goes into the guild bank to fund repairs and all of that good stuff. That being said, if you have a best in slot list and you're like, hey, this BOE is actually my best in slot for this particular raid, then we can definitely work something out as far as that goes. I'm never gonna like take your BIS loot away from you, especially if you're the one who looted it. But we are going to be looking for that you equip it. Otherwise, again, we take it, we sell it, and it goes into sort of guild materials. And that goes for every team. So, like, Team Dusk will loot a BOE, that gold goes into the guild bank, it's split up amongst all of the raid teams. Similarly, as far as best in slot items goes, the expectation is that you show up knowing your best in slot list. We raid for 4 hours a week, and I am not going to be the loot police. So if you can point to a source and say, this is my best in slot for Mythic Plus, and that's why I rolled on that item, that's totally fine. Or single target, or raid spec, or whatever it might be. Like, if you have the data to support you needing on an item, then that's totally fine. What we ask is if it's just a really big upgrade for you, because it might be like a piece that you struggled replacing or whatever it is, if it is somebody else's best in slot, please allow them to get that item as opposed to taking it just for an item level upgrade or something like that. One thing that's going to be a little bit different, and my veteran Team Moon players, this is where you can tune back in. Obviously, Mocha has gone back to Team Knight. They needed that
Rude.
raid leader. Pardon?
Rude.
Yeah, well, it helped me a lot, so Mocha's doing me a solid.
What about?
But
It's because I'm a woman.
it is because you're a woman, and I figured that you should only tank with other women. So Jazz, who has in tiers past been the heal leader for Team Moon, is now stepping into co-tanking with Anoku. We're absolutely fucked as far as directions are concerned because neither of them know which direction they're going when. But we will figure that out as we get there, or we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. With that being said, Jazz is still sort of the heal person go-to, especially for right now, and then sort of as that separation continues to occur, we will sort of have somebody take that over for Jazz, just so that she is more able to focus on tanking and tank mechanics and all that good stuff. And then last point of business that I have, and then I'm going to open it up to questions, comments, and concerns. Pacing for this tier is going to be a little bit quicker than we've gone in the past, because I think where we get stuck historically is I think we spend a little bit too much time trying to min-max in Heroic. We don't really get into Mythic quick enough, and then it's well, I'm totally Heroic geared, and then can I bring this alt? And then, I want this second alt to come in instead, because now this alt is totally geared. So instead of that, we're really going to be focusing on getting through normal very quickly, focusing on Heroic, and I would love to be in Mythic sort of by week, or lockout, like 4, 5, 6, and sort of that time frame. It probably means that we are going into Mythic without getting AOTC, which is totally fine. Typically, in the grand scheme of things, the first couple of bosses on Mythic are typically easier mechanically and DPS-wise than the AOTC boss is. But it's just going to be sort of a change in pacing for us. I work with a population who really doesn't like change, and I am prepared to deal with that. But I think in the long run, that is going to allow us to be a little bit more focused in Mythic. I think it's going to keep people's attention a little bit more so they're not getting antsy and wanting to level a bunch of alts, and we're also not going to see the attendance boss burnout / trickle down that we saw through last expansion with each raid tier. Alright, that was a lot, but that is all sort of my talking points, so if you guys want to start asking questions...
What's the order that we're going to be doing the raids in? Like, which raid are we going to work on first? Because there's 3 of them.
Yes, so Jazz and I are planning on taking a look at that today, because we have started to get, like, not today, this weekend, we've started to get boss strategies out at this point, so I will start looking into that. I am assuming, without looking at it at all, but if this is sort of like the days of old, where there's a quote-unquote main raid, and then there's like a handful of secondary or tertiary raids, we'll be focusing on the main raid first, with the secondaries sort of as we have time to clean them up.
Okay, because what I've been seeing is that pretty much everybody's BIS trinkets come from those secondary raids.
Okay. So I will do some.
And then all the tier comes from the main raid.
Okay. So I will do some research into that. And what it might be is it could be like, hey, once we finish that or clear that main raid on normal, and we start doing the main raid on heroic, then it might be the secondary raids go into normal, and we sort of scaffold it like that. But I'll have a better answer probably by the end of the weekend, and I will ping people with that information. Other questions?
I have one about attendance.
Yes.
Do you like? I'm only able to jump on Fridays. Will that? Do I need to be Friday and Saturday, or is it okay just on Fridays?
You and I can talk about that a little bit later.
I mean, okay,
ideally, you're showing up on a regular basis, because the problem becomes, and I don't mean to like single you out or anything like that. The problem becomes if we're funneling gear into somebody who's only here strictly half the time, that really hamstrings sort of the progression of the raid group. What it might end up being is like you're more than welcome to come on Fridays, but you would roll sort of as an alt on gear, where people who are going to be here continuously would have sort of first dibs at an item, and then once it goes to off-spec rolls, that is where you would be able to roll on those pieces.
All right.
I have a couple questions.
Go for it.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good
Hello.
on Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Don't walk under a ladder. What is the best Discord channel that we actually use for our raids specifically? I know we have like kind of discussions, resources.
Sure.
Like, I just like all I want to really say, like, look at is who has, and I know we can kind of do this in game maybe, and maybe it'd be better to do it there. But like before the raid, like if someone just needs like flasks, like all right, send me these mats. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind doing that for people I'm raiding with, but I definitely just want like a single place for me to look. We have just so many kind of different channels for everyone.
Absolutely.
That whatever whatever channel is it, the Mythic Keys one? Do you think that one will work best? It seems like that's where a lot of our raid looks.
So as far as like information about,
there's a crafting orders one.
Yep. As far as information pertaining to specifically Team Moon, is going to be in Moon Attendance, which you guys can't talk in, but that's where like announcements and important information is going to go. Raid discussion is sort of like theory crafting, or discussing what mechanics are going to be challenging or things like that, and then raid resources.
I see. These are all ours. So all these are just pretty much everything I'm talking about separated. I see that.
Yes.
My bad. I didn't really read that correctly. Cool. Thank you for that. And then the other question I had is the rolls. Because of, I believe the raid time is like the weekends, right?
Yes.
So I'm planning to raid before we raid. Not with the character I'm using, but are we pretty locked into what you think you're going to be wanting from class and spec?
Yes. So currently, I've said this to a couple of people who come and ask about class changes and things like that. The roster is sort of set right now. That is not going to change for at least the first couple of weeks of raiding, because I want to see what we have access to, where people are sort of falling as far as the trial goes, and whether that is going to be successful or not. And what I don't want to have happen is, let's say, Lath, I'm going to use you as an example. Let's pretend Lath was redoing his trial, and currently he is on an AUG. And all of a sudden we get another AUG, and that AUG is doing better, and Lath failed his trial, and now we don't have an AUG, and we also don't have a mage. and now I need to transition somebody from, one of their characters onto a mage because Lathe failed his trial. So right now I sort of have redundancies kind of built into the roster of if A fails, we're at least going to have one solid backup. But to answer your question, you are probably good for at least a month before I'm going to ask people to change specs or classes, and I am also never one to say... Typically, the way that this goes is I'll make an announcement of like, hey, Para and Hoki have left, eloped, and are, making a bed and breakfast together on Hawaii, and now we have no warrior buffs. I need somebody to go warrior. And then if somebody is interested in that position, that'll be a conversation.
Copy. You explained it pretty well. I think for me, like in general, because this is a weekend raid, I have friends that also play. Like I've pugged pretty much every AOTC. Like so, I'll have like one of those tunes where I'll just use for that, and I'll just keep what you have on here for our raid specifically. But
Yeah,
you answered. Thank you.
Of course. Did you have any more questions?
Oh man, I could talk to you guys all day. Like I just don't even know what to say right now. I think a lot of the questions like kind of happen when we do raid, or I'm a new guy. But for me, like you guys were kind of talking about some things when it came to your raid, and I've raided so much with so many different people, many different ways to work. But I found something interesting just based upon what you guys said earlier, which is that the tank may not be necessarily leading. And I feel like as someone who's tanked a lot, there's not a lot to do up there once you figure it kind of out, and you do end up at least calling kind of the fight to some degree with the other tank. But that'll be interesting to kind of see where the raid lead calls are coming from. I've always played it from a tank's perspective. But beyond that, like I'm sure like you guys are pretty like I just like people to kind of be on time. 2 or 3 people can hold up 20, and that sucks. But beyond that, like I'm excited to raid with you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Again, my raid style is fairly community-based. We are a team. We attack the boss as a team. We figure out what's going to work as a team, and we kill the boss as a team. So there are definitely going to be times where Anoku will call something or Jazz will call something. And in the past, Mocha had been, responsible for certain callouts as he was tanking. There have been times where ranged DPS are responsible for managing mechanic and communicating that information to the raid team. So it is riding that fine line between getting important information out and then too much chatter, which we have walked really well at times, and there are other times where we kind of fall off the rails a little bit.
Sure.
But for the most part, we always are able to bring that back. And again, where we're not like pushing for cutting edge, I would rather have the experience of the raid team coming together and being able to kill a boss as a unit, as opposed to just listening to Antras dictate boss strategies for like 2 hours.
Well, I think that you guys you have a pretty good philosophy in it. I am really like I'm a different type of weird. I'm very like I live on this earth, so like to me, I'm just pressing buttons on a keyboard and hoping to win. And so I'm pretty competitive though. So like casual competitive is right where I think you guys are at. Like I don't care if I lose. I just want to win.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you guys do a lot of mythics? Who are the new people? That's what I think.
I do mythics, and I got a question. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it, bro.
Go for it.
I'll start class tunings out, by the way. And is there any performance like requirements? Like I know you talked about character progression and attendance, but do you have anything regarding like what you're looking for from people during the raid?
Yeah, so I mean, I operate under the assumption that you guys are playing that class, you are keeping up with the changes to that class, you are ensuring that you are operating under the best, specs and talents and all of that good stuff. The same way that I research Demon Hunter, I expect that you would research whatever class it is that you're playing. as far as expectations, again, I'm looking for mechanics over output. And
Yep.
if it gets to the point where there have been times where we have been at a DPS stopping point, and then it becomes, all right, let's dive into the logs and really see where people are struggling and where can we get some additional DPS out. At that point, if there are low performers, I will have conversations privately, and it's not like, hey, hey, friends with benefits, you fucking suck and you're done. It's
Yep.
Hey, I've noticed, you are underperforming on this boss fight. Let's take a look at the logs. Let's see if we can figure out why you are underperforming, and then I'm, going to give a couple of raids to see if that you can get that performance up. And then, it's a further conversation. In the however many years that this guild has been open now, there's only been one character or one person that I've ever had to hard bench. And otherwise it's always been, I was in the wrong spec, or, I didn't realize that this was a mechanic, or, tanks are supposed to be channeling sound percussion on the
Shut up.
boss of what's it called? and so
Suck
typically
my dick.
it's typically the little silly things like that that are causing the issues, especially at the level that we're pushing. If we were week 3 cutting edge last boss kind of thing, then it would be a very different conversation about parsing and all the rest of it. But where we're sort of casual and progressing as we are able to, I'm not going to be killing people to DPS.
Cool. Yeah, I was just curious about that.
Yep. As far as new people go, we have, I think, 6 or 7 newbies. I can kind of highlight that in the roster as we move forward, but
Should definitely name them and make them tell a fun fact about themselves.
oh no, I hate that. I don't do icebreakers.
Okay.
All right, other questions? Oh, yep, go ahead. Nope, go ahead first.
Well, actually, I was going to say that there's a question in the chat, so I was going to let their question be answered first, but then I do have a question.
Okay, where is the question, chat?
It shows up on the right side of the page for me, but actually I see that that's not how my husband's looks.
Okay,
So
this raid outranked BIS Mythic Plus. So, and correct me if I am incorrect in where you're going with this. I'm looking at overall best in slot. So if in raid, your single target best in slot is coming from raid, and your multi-target best in slot is coming from Mythic Plus, and you already have your multi-target best in slot, and you're going for that raid piece, then that is totally fine that you roll on it. This is more so like a good example was a while ago with a staff. We had somebody need on it, and it ended up that it wasn't what they were saying that it was going to be for, and that caused some kerfluffle, and it's far less. At the end of the day, all of this loot is going to end up either as transmog or disenchanting. So I know people are chomping at the bit to be the first one to get their bis, but realistically we're going to be disenchanting things by the end of the tier. And I'm really not fussed about when people get what. The only thing I sort of police are best in slot trinkets, because I know that those are really difficult to come across, cantrip weapons, and tier pieces. And that actually kind of leads me back into what I was going to talk about, which is for tier pieces, we always look to make sets as highest priority, and that's kind of the one time that I will do a little bit of a loot council, is if you are at 3 tier pieces and the 4th tier drops, and that makes your 4 set, you are going to have a higher priority over somebody who only has 2 set, and that would make their 3rd. Similarly, if it makes your 2 set, you would have priority over somebody that's their first tier item or they don't have any tier. And I just do that at the outset because those kind of represent the largest jumps in raid ability.
Do you guys prioritize tanks first, and then healers?
Nope.
Or DPS?
Nope. It's absolutely like if it's all based on the numbers, and if all things are equal, then everybody rolls equally.
All right, my question was, I know that you mentioned earlier, like obviously we all know that like add-ons and weak auras and stuff like that have changed a ton with Midnight comparatively to past expansions. Is there anything that y'all are requiring for raid for us to have?
So currently, I believe the only thing that is really going to be a raid requirement is some kind of boss mod, whether that be bigwigs, whatever the other one is. DBM, thank you. Whatever your dealer's choice is to ensure that you are going to be able to do mechanics. That being said, I know that there is at least one person in here who does not utilize any add-ons or anything like that, and they have never caused a wipe or died to something. Well, I can't say that. They have never been the reason that we have not been able to kill a boss. So if you are one of those sneaky people who you're like, I know this raid inside out and backwards, and I am not going to have that boss mod, and Andrus is never going to know that I don't have that boss mod because I know exactly what I'm doing, then that's fine. Anything else?
I have a question.
Yes.
I was tuned out the whole time. Did I fail my trial or not?
Yes, you're done.
Shit. I knew it.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
But do I get to stay?
Yeah, as you're
Oh,
fine,
yeah.
but now you're healing.
Yay!
Oh!
Alright, the only other thing that, as I'm going through my little list, I forgot to talk about is, in Mythic, I will try and field the same 20 until that boss dies. So whatever the 20 in are the first time, they kind of have the first right of refusal. That being said, by the end of the tier, I will make sure I do my damnedest to ensure that everybody has however many kills. So if we end up killing 5 mythic bosses, everyone on the team by the end of the tier is going to have 5 mythic boss kills. They might not all be the same boss, depending on how the raid splits up or fractures or anything like that, but everyone is going to be pretty close as far as raid bosses are concerned. And the way that I kind of do the roster is I will look at performance, I'll look at output, I will look at like cheese factor, which is like if I don't know, fucking sub-rogues are really good on a fight again, like that one time in Battle for Azeroth, then, you know, I'm gonna take all the sub-rogues. Just to ensure that it's easy to kill the boss and sort of gain that momentum. But everyone is going to get their boss kills. Please do not freak out. Okay. That is now all that I have. Does anyone have anything else before I close this out? Going once. Twice.
How have the class changes affect your ability to play on a controller?
Oh, it's even easy. I have like 3 extra buttons that I didn't have last expansion. Like right now, I have my mount double bound because I play on my laptop as well, and then I have a full-on set of buttons on a modifier that I can use. So controller stats are eating good.
So do you think you can maybe play it on a Wii mode?
Fuck you, challenge accepted.
Yes, let's do it. I
So-
want to see it. I want to see it.
So does that mean you're gonna get better?
Probably not. No.
No,
Well,
if you
let's
play in a
not get ahead
Wii
of ourselves.
mode, you gotta play like that kid who's like dancing and RPing on his Frost Mage. Have you seen that? Those videos?
I have not.
Every movement he reenacts his mage's casting. Great.
What I might do instead of the Wiimote is in the summer maybe I will try a DDR mat. I think that would be a little bit more
Yeah.
fun. All right. Here is the deal. Instead of reading "Go the fuck to sleep," whatever tier that was, if you guys can close out, I think it was AOTC and or 2 mythic bosses by week 5, I will buy and set up a DDR mat to play on.
See, this is the difference between the new people and the old people. You guys got some weird thing going on here.
So I'm a what's called a board certified behavior analyst, and I'm real big in positive reinforcement and attainable goals and all that good shit. So I like to give that out
High
when
five.
I can.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I also heard you're a teacher. My sister's a teacher. You guys are like excessively happy and kind. We got to protect you. You know.
Oh no,
You're the ones that
I'm
we,
not
you're
a
the ones
teacher,
that
I
we
just
keep
work
safe.
in a school.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
good.
a teacher.
You guys are the ones we keep safe. You know what I mean? And we just keep all
Wait
the
till
bad
raid
out.
day.
Is there anywhere that school nurse drama?
Oh yeah, you could never update it, mate.
So she did not get brought back. We got a new school nurse who is a lot better, but she is a bit of a space cadet. But she's like, so in the public school system, we refer to things as sparkle. So like a new teacher has sparkle because like they're fresh out, they're like this is their first year teaching. They're gonna cut out all the things. Their classroom's gonna look super cute. So the nurse has a lot of sparkle, and she's an airhead. So it's not a great combination, but the sparkle's starting to wear off, and she's a little bit better. So
That's why she doesn't work bedside.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
There was some nurse drama at my job last year.
No, but just the words right of sparkle. Like I'm pretty sure in the military we had another word for that, but I'm not sure exactly what matches sparkle.
So sparkle is
Boo.
no.
A blue falcon? Is that what we're talking about? What are we talking about? Or is she
It's
like
not a blue falcon. Not a blue
Not a
falcon.
blue falcon.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I'm excited to learn new words with you. And
sparkle is somebody has sparkle when they show up in the morning. They haven't had a sip of coffee, and they are just so excited to meet all of their kids off the bus and have a wonderful day, and things are going to be so great.
Oh,
it's Monday.
There's still hope in the eyes.
Yes,
there's no word. There's no.
They're
word.
not jaded.
Correct.
They're right. There's no word for that in the military because that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you
I
guys
can't.
get rid of that in boot camp.
That's not.
I can't wait until you use that for the new guys in the shop. Hey, where's your sparkle at?
Yeah.
Welcome to the shop.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right.
There you go. Okay.
What do you say if someone's like the worst? Do you call them like what?
When somebody's the worst?
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, we
like. Would you
that.
ever say that, or would you like? Are you like that? Like supportive that even if someone is the worst, like you're over there supporting their worstness?
So I'm an admin, so I'm not able to comment on how much somebody sucks. That being said, there are closed door meetings where we just say that people are the absolute worst, and
yeah.
Being in a public school, we will complain about it, and nothing will get fixed, and that's how that goes.
Yeah, so you got to work with what you got sometimes.
Exactly. All right, real quick, I am going to close out the official meeting, so that is all. If you guys have other stuff that you need to get done, go ahead and do that. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We will have that, order of bosses. I will get that posted by Sunday at the latest, probably tomorrow afternoon. But thank you for coming. I'm looking forward to this tier. I really hope that we can close out 5 mythic bosses. I think that would be awesome. And then you guys get your patches.
When's our first raid?
First raid is... Hold on. First raid is Friday, March 20th at 8 p.m.
Okay, might be late just because I'll be getting off work.
No,
And I start a new job, so.
that is acceptable.
How late are we talking? How late are we talking?
I still work till 7:30, but you know, I'm starting a whole new like I don't want to say career path, but essentially.
Are you gonna have Sparkle?
Yes, until I realize my patients can't talk to me, and I'm gonna be like, "Ah, this is wonderful."
That shit's funny.
Yeah, here, have some more drugs.
Here's some more propofol. Go to sleep.
I mean,
Oh yeah, give it to Michael Jackson. Let's